Nick got me rolling, got me shaking, got me aching, got me twitching, got me snitching, got me making a fuss. Nicky got me bowled over, got me over his shoulder, got me slapping, got me whacking, got me smacking my lips. Oh, Nicolas Cage, oh, Nicolas Cage, he's an international treasure of ours, yeah.
Hello and welcome to a Prats production, where we talk about films that we have watched that are specifically Nicolas Cage starring.
Yes, we've been doing this for, I think this is episode 17. And
17?
Episode,
That's 10 more than I remember.
Episode 7 of season 2, possibly. It might be episode 8. Who
Yeah,
knows?
it feels like we've been doing this for a while.
We can find out.
I mean, it's been fun. It's not like we're doing a podcast or anything.
No. We watch every single one of Nicolas Cage's films. He's done about 120.
And
He is an international treasure.
We're only 17 into
True. Yeah, we got a while. We did think it was more. We thought it was like 170. Or I did.
I thought it was over 200.
Yeah. But then we saw his 100th film credit was The Croods 2. So he can't have done 90 films in the past 8 years. Maybe he could have.
I mean,
that's
he's pretty
possible.
prolific.
John has just cracked open a cold one.
Yep, he's treating
It's
himself.
actually my last cold one of the night.
That was
Ooh.
John. This is Kieran.
Hello.
And I'm Nathan. Our other host, who has now become a special
Host?
guest.
He's a guest.
He is a guest at this point.
We really should have
We've
gone
had
with...
guests on more often than we've had our hosts on.
We should have gone with a name.
Sorry, Daniel. Love
forward.
you, but also be more available, right?
The name has become part of the joke at this point.
At least 4 Prats. It's not at least 4. It's not even at least 3.
Sometimes it's 2.
We try to avoid that, though.
But our film this week is the 2017 action flick. Amazon Prime funded, I assume.
Yes.
Is it? I thought it was bought by Amazon.
Maybe.
Technically also a sequel.
The film...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's apparently a sequel. The film Arsenal, also known as Southern Fury.
We should explain though that the reason they changed the name is because Arsenal, when people they realised that when people googled Arsenal in the UK, their movie wasn't going to come up, rather the football team was going to come up. And in the States, there was too many movies in 2017 also called Arsenal.
Yeah.
So they changed it to Southern Fury.
That's funny, though, because like the football team has nothing to do with the actual meaning of the word Arsenal, but also this movie doesn't have a lot to do with the meaning of the word Arsenal.
The football team Arsenal called Arsenal?
That's a good
I
point.
assume it's got something to do with like World War One or Two gun production.
Ooh, probably.
Maybe that would be at least interesting. That would be an interesting thing to know about the football team.
Because their
Arsenal.
nickname is the Gunners.
That's also interesting.
Was formed in 1886 by munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal Factory.
Oh, that's
in
so
Woolwich
much
in
cooler
Southeast
than what
London.
they are now.
I always quite liked Arsenal though. Oh well. 2017 film Arsenal, also known as Southern Fury, is directed by. Hang on. That's probably going to be a better game level.
You and your ethylized of USB-C.
Directed by Stephen C. Miller, written by Jason Mosberg, starring Nicolas Cage, John Cusack,
Coppola.
Adrian Grenier, Jonathan Schiach, and Christopher Coppola. Was that his name?
Yeah.
No.
Is this the first time he's been in a movie with another couple?
His older brother.
Mm.
Yeah.
I didn't
Nicolas
even know he
Cage.
had brothers or sisters. Or
There's a whole
family.
lineage.
I thought he was kind of just grown in a test tube.
Nicolas Cage was once married to Elvis Presley's daughter.
Yeah.
What
no,
the hell?
I remember hearing
I
that.
wasn't aware of that.
Lisa Marie Presley. After she divorced Michael Jackson, she went on to Nicolas Cage.
Okay, it's even weirder that he's the second husband after Michael fucking Jackson.
Wasn't she quite young when she married Michael Jackson?
That's not surprising.
Do you want to know what makes it even funnier about the Michael Jackson thing? So they were she was friends with him since she was a kid, and then when she grew up, she married him at the height of everyone calling him a pedo.
At the height of it.
At the height of
what doesn't make you
So
love
quite
a
late
man
in
more
his
than
life, right?
accusations of paedophilia?
So like she was like, it's okay, Michael. You're not a pedo. I'll marry you to show you you're not a pedo.
Also, I'm 16. However old she was.
Bloody
Let's
hell.
find this out before we start throwing shit around.
I mean, okay, Michael Jackson, a famously dead man.
Yeah, but his estate.
I mean, it's not fucking Token.
You see they're making a biopic.
Michael Jackson,
His
of
nephew's
course.
playing him.
Wait, you pronounce it biopic?
How old was Elvis Presley's daughter when she married
This has nothing to do with the film. But also, there's not a lot in the film to
Michael
talk about that isn't
Jackson?
scathing.
Lisa Marie Presley. Oh, sorry, I didn't put an apostrophe in after Presley.
How dare.
She's 54. She was 7 when she first met Michael Jackson.
Fine.
Um,
How old was Michael Jackson?
Oh, he would have been like.
in 1975.
Huh?
In 1975, she
He
met.
must have been like in his, at least his,
When was
in
she
most
born?
his 20s.
Michael proposed to Lisa Marie in late 1993.
So 40s and 20s.
Oh, she was 26!
Yeah,
And
no.
he was 35, that's fine.
Yeah, that's informed consent for
I'm
sure.
sorry, I'm fucking just throwing his name in the dirt.
Yeah, like it would be a stretch to even call that grooming.
If
I know
she
they've
was
known
7
each other
when they
for a long
first
time.
met.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I mean, it's not as bad as
What are we gonna do?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
no, Buddy Holly, not Buddy Holly, Woody Allen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Married his own stepdaughter.
This is my first time hearing about this. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
His own stepdaughter.
Yeah.
Like, no. It's a porn trope, but it's not okay.
We're not gonna get cancelled by the Michael Jackson fan club.
We're gonna get cancelled by fucking
Probably
porn
Woody
trope.
Allen is, like, I think, kind of litigious about this kind of shit, so if we hear anything, it'll be from Woody Allen.
Look,
I'd love
at
it.
this point in our podcasting careers,
Yeah.
us being sued by a famous celebrity can only be good for us.
Yeah, it puts our name out there. Fuck Woody Allen.
Alright, I'm going too deep.
I've never seen a Woody Allen film. They all kind of look bad, but I've heard they're good.
What films has he done?
Fucking, like, Everything You Want to Know About Sex, but we're too afraid to ask for. Sleeper.
I haven't watched that.
Annie Hall, I think. A bunch of, like, I think 70s sort of rom-com type films that were really popular. And,
Was it? He did like the Santa Claus films.
Oh, I've seen them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He did.
That's
Who's that?
That's Alan Wood. Alan, the fucking Home Improvement man. He didn't do the Santa Claus films.
I'm sure he
What are you
did.
talking about?
He did Santa Claus films.
Santa Claus. That's Santa Claus films.
Woody Allen.
It's not Woody Allen. Tim Allen. Tim Allen did
Oh,
the
I'm
Santa
sorry, I got
Claus
the
films.
first name wrong.
Tim Allen and Woody Allen are two very separate people.
Wait,
I don't
who the
think
fuck's Woody
Tim
Allen?
Allen has ever groomed
He's a
anyone.
director.
That's you don't know that.
I don't.
Don't
But I
defend
know
this
that Woody
man.
Allen is.
He exists in the Hollywood sphere.
Do you know Tim Allen got arrested for smuggling cocaine?
Yeah, I think I heard about it. There's like the mugshots, right?
That's a reason to like it.
Anyway.
Cocaine's cool.
What
Who the fuck is Woody Allen?
he's like a sort of nerdy looking guy. He's got big glasses.
He could have played Stephen fucking Hawking.
Who did play Stephen Hawking?
Eddie
Not
Redmayne.
Stephen Hawking, yeah.
Eddie Redmayne. The Infinite. What the fuck was that film called?
I don't know, it was pretty shit.
I love how when I look on Google Images, it's just a bunch of articles about how problematic he is.
Yeah.
And also pictures of him with a bunch of young actresses.
Yeah.
It's pretty...
He married.
I hate Hollywood.
Right. Arsenal, starring Nicolas Cage and a fake nose.
In which he
do my
plays
synopsis. Did I do my
popular
synopsis?
football-
Oh, it doesn't
footballer.
fucking matter.
Which is a sequel to a film in the 1990s. Which
That we haven't
Apparently.
seen and
Apparently.
won't see unless it has Nicolas Cage in
He
it.
does.
It does.
doesn't
He
Yeah.
plays
That we
this-
will review at some point
he
later on.
plays the same character with the same fake nose, wig, and mustache.
Eddie King.
But in the first film, he dies. In this one, he's just not dead.
He's undead.
So is this? Do we know if this is set in between those?
It says this movie is a sequel / prequel.
What?
What?
That doesn't mean anything.
This one is.
Okay, which parts of the film are sequel and which parts are prequel?
I don't think the movie knows.
I guess. So this is what happens in the film. I guess the prequel part is when our two main characters,
Are you sure that's not the sequel part?
Psycho Eyes and Military Man, are brothers as young kids, and their uncle apparently
Yes.
kills himself,
Yeah.
and then the older brother
They call him their uncle. He could be their paternal dad.
could be an adoptive dad.
See? A
You think
prequel
someone
/
who-
sequel.
That doesn't mean anything. How is that possible?
I don't know.
Given the very limited portrayal of the uncle character
Yeah.
in the film, which is 2 fucking scenes.
Yeah. It's
One of which
basically
is with his brain splashed
two
everywhere.
shots the uncle is in. The first is he is asleep on the couch in the middle of the day, and so your thought is, oh, he's a drunk.
Yeah, time
doesn't-
to project all of your fucking stereotypes of.
Well, he also doesn't feed his kids. That's established.
Is it?
Yeah, because the younger brother
It's hungry.
says, "I'm really hungry," and the implication is that he hasn't been fed.
Who do you think bought that microwave meal, huh?
The one microwave meal that was in the freezer.
Yeah,
that-
but
that
I mean, it
is-
was there at least.
That isn't good. I don't know. It's probably Meals on Wheels or some shit. It got dropped round.
You think that exists in fucking the South?
In the 80s, I'm
in
guessing.
Mississippi? Yeah.
I'm guessing the 80s because they were at an arcade all the time.
Aren't they like 40? When is this film set? The 90s?
The 90s, because
But
it's like 18
Yeah,
years
okay,
ago.
so
they had
the older brother is at least 40.
But wait. They drove like a brand new 2020, or like not 2020, but like a brand new like GMC truck.
Do they?
Yeah. And
Well,
multiple
I
car
swear at
chases.
some point, it like at the end of the setup, it says 15 years later or some shit.
15 years later, have you seen how old the older brother looks?
Yeah,
He is
he's
greying.
in his 40s.
Yeah, he's not in any way 50
True, and the younger
in his
brother has
30s.
set up like quite a good business, and that doesn't happen in like
Your 20s in the South during many economic recessions post 9/11.
I watched this film on.
pre 9/11
Yeah, but the film is
made.
made
No.
post 9/11.
But
We
it's
don't actually know when the
arguably-
film was set.
We don't know where it's set. We do know
When.
where it is set.
We know where.
Yes,
Biloxi,
Biloxi,
Mississippi.
Louisiana.
It's fucking Mississippi.
Kieran, you've been trying to say something.
Sorry, continue.
I only watched this movie like 2 hours ago, and I don't remember a single thing that happened.
Right.
Yeah, there were scenes coming up for both me and Nathan that we were like, wait, what?
Yeah,
But it was
because
different
I
scenes.
tuned
He
out.
clearly remembered the sex scene, which I thought was
It
interesting.
was a sort of weird sex scene, but we'll get to that.
Will we?
Yeah, the sad uncle alcoholic shoots his brain out with a shotgun, and older brother tells younger brother to go to the arcade so he can deal with it.
Which is also a strip club and a torture chamber.
Yes, it's somehow
I don't remember the scene.
it connects. I'll
But
get
he
there.
walked through some weird corridors and ended up in a strip club, and then walked through
Yes.
some more weird corridors and ended up in a murder house.
Right, so uncle kills himself, shoots his brain out with a shotgun, and older
Hmm.
brother goes over and like shakes his arm like he might still be alive, even though the back of his head is like exploded all over the
I think
walls.
that was just responsible.
Also, there is a older woman like in the shop previously with the uncle, who I'm guessing is their grandmother, possibly their auntie, but
He likes them old.
possibly. But it's never explained where she goes, so presumably it's a murder-suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not clear where the older woman that was shown in the intro is.
She just kind of
Is
is
she
in
dead?
one shot and then is
Did
gone.
she have a heart attack from the fucking murder?
Who
Or
knows?
suicide?
Just forgot they wrote her in.
So older
Yeah.
brother goes off to the arcade first. I thought to find his younger brother and explain what had happened, but no. He walks through the arcade, and then he walks through a strip club, and then he walks into...
Wait, wasn't that because he was looking for his younger brother?
No.
You couldn't find him in the arcade?
What he was doing, he was walking through the strip club to the tarpaulin room, which is a series of corridors all having white sheet
A maze.
plastic around it. And then he finds none other than Eddie King, Nicolas Cage, torturing a man.
That's his only scene for like an hour.
Yeah, he's just not in it for a while after that. But he does have quite a good shot, which gets overplayed in the film, where he is torturing someone in slow motion to like gospel music.
Here's the
which I
best
thought
part
was
of the film.
quite fun.
Yeah. He also punches.
I mean, they really tried to make the action scenes, such as they were, look good.
They did look quite good. In all fairness, like the gore was quite like it was like gratuitous and like
I mean,
there was a lot of like
yeah.
an unrealistic amount of blood and
Fake
stuff.
blood, yeah.
But it was fun, like movie gore and stuff. The action.
It would have been
seemed
good
well
in a
choreographed.
different genre of film. But like everything outside of the action scenes were played a little bit too seriously.
Yeah.
I found it hard to like enjoy the action scenes such as they were.
We were discussing it a little bit before while me and John were rewatching it. Kieran was watching it. This film would be a lot better if everyone took it like 3 notches less seriously.
Yeah.
Which I think Nic Cage did take it less seriously. Unless
I feel like
he
you're
was
giving
really
him credit there.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell with Nicolas Cage in this film.
I think he is. I think this is our second, possibly third film where he is actually quite bad.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
great
that-
acting.
Quite a low hit rate given
Yeah.
all of the Nicolas Cage films we've watched so far.
Well, we are hitting our last film, Grand Isle, which
Was
you heard by now,
bad.
and then our next film is
Actually,
another
no,
one of
I didn't
his-
think it was nearly as bad as everyone else did.
What, Grand Isle?
I don't
Nicolas Cage
remember.
got a bit more credit than Nathan was willing to give it, in my
Possibly.
opinion.
But our next film is another one of these Amazon Prime like.
Well, I mean, it wasn't
action-
made by Amazon Prime. Amazon wasn't big in that time.
No,
It
true.
was bought by Amazon Prime because Amazon buys everything.
But one of these low budget, reasonably high yield films.
I think Geezer teaser is the best term
is
that we've
the
discovered.
term
for it.
that Red Letter Media used.
It's
to
trying
describe these
to
types of
play
films.
off of the success of films like Die Hard and stuff. The quite low budget action films.
Old action stars who can't really get big movie roles anymore because the movie market is flooded with superhero films and they're a bit old to play
In 2006?
superheroes. 2006? Why are you saying that?
Yeah.
Late 10s.
2017.
This was in 2017.
Wait, that film was made in 2017?
Yes.
Alright, you said the 10s. and
Yeah.
Why would that be 2006?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that was wrong to say like less than 2010, but 2017 is quite. Holy shit!
Was this not during the height of him just trying to make money to like pay off the debts of like the T-Rex head and shit that he bought?
Maybe there's some shit I like.
That's
one
yeah,
of
that's
us
quite
was
late in his
talking
career
about
for
it
how
where
bad this film is.
He lost a bunch of money in a divorce, and he also just recklessly spent money.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's made it back.
Yes, he said this year or last year he's in the green. He's doing good.
Right, so he says.
So
So he
he's
says.
yeah, but like he has in all fairness, he has been doing more sort of artsy experimental films since this sort of
That kind of
era.
thing only happens if you have like money to spare.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, like, I mean, 2 examples we've talked about earlier. Daniel Radcliffe, like he made all his money from Harry Potter.
Did they get royalties for Harry Potter?
I think
Is that
so,
like
yeah.
a Star Wars deal where they
Probably.
like get paid in merchandise and shit, and so they're forever rich?
Well, I think that's why Daniel Craig can kind of do the weird shit he does.
I mean, yeah,
Rupert
he
Grint
definitely had the luxury, like, to get back into acting and do what he wanted to do. Because he didn't... I don't know. I mean, like, it's a perspective I'm kind of...
Emma Stone went down... Is it Emma Stone?
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson went down this trying to be a serious actor.
I mean, she'll get there.
Yeah.
It's quite early in her career
I think,
still.
Yeah, like out of the three,
She's the most successful.
her
Daniel Radcliffe is very niche.
She's been in stuff. Daniel Radcliffe has also been in stuff. He's done more artsy stuff, I think.
Then there's the
He's done what he
And
wanted.
then Rupert Grint is like, he did Perks of Being a Wallflower, also with Emma Watson. I think that was during Harry Potter still as well.
I like to think that he's just living his best life.
He did do something.
He
recently.
escaped the Hollywood acting circuit, and he's just doing what he wants.
But he's trying to get back into it now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
as Kieran was telling us earlier, he's often saying like, "I'll do another Harry Potter film. Just let me back at it.
Let me suckle the tea. give me
J.K.
the
Rowling, give me your turf titties.
turf titties.
Turf titties. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they'll make a buck when this new Harry Potter game comes out.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
There's like the only one that's gonna make money from it is J.K. fucking Rowling.
Gross.
Is she even, I don't think she's attached to it.
Well, it's
Yeah,
her
she is.
property.
It's her intellectual property.
Unless she sold the IP.
No,
You don't think so?
no, she won't sell it till she
Sign some
fucking
sort of
dies.
royalties.
The UK's shittiest billionaire.
Yeah. Well,
Nah, I don't
Think of a shittier billionaire.
a shitty.
the guy that owns Virgin, Richard Branson.
Richard Branson.
Yeah, he's
He-
pretty
he
shitty.
just
but-
annoys me.
Quite shitty. Giving millionaires rights to space.
What's the chef?
At least he
man?
doesn't publicly hate like gay and trans people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He might hate them, but he's not talking
He keeps it
about
to himself himself. He knows what's good for him.
It's good for his space missions.
They're stupid. They're bad.
Has he been to space yet?
No.
Did he do it?
I don't think so. They haven't made it out of the atmosphere.
Have you
the
seen?
hell?
They're doing that.
Bad at it.
SpaceX are sending people around the moon, but it's like a random like Steve Aoki, you know, the fucking DJ man.
Wait, they're sending people. They haven't even sent people to orbit, really.
Oh, they're sending people like round.
They haven't done a crewed fucking mission
But
yet.
the people that they've taken on are just like random fuckers. Like you've got Steve Aoki, like fucking DJ, and then just some boy who works in like a garage.
So they're doing a Blue Origin, you mean?
What's that?
Alright, Blue Origin is Jeff Bezos' space company that went to high orbit. No, they didn't go to orbit. They didn't even make it to orbit. They went to like space barely. You know, then. Okay, none of you know space news.
Let's get away from sad capitalism news.
Yeah, it's like pay money, go space. What's in space? Oh, just the knowledge that all your money is worthless, really.
Tom Cruise is making a movie in space.
He's doing a
It's not in space, it's
jump
in
from
space.
it,
No,
right?
it's in space.
They're making it in space.
Yeah. He wants to be the first person to make a movie in space.
And it's not porn?
Why is porn the like leading?
Alright, look, man.
John's been on the side.
It's an arms race between adult film and regular film to do certain things, okay?
I don't think porn has the budget to get to space.
They'll find it.
No, there's got to be.
Best they can do is rent fancy homes in the Hollywood Hills for a day.
I'm sure Babe Station could afford it.
I think that comes from the like rich people being like wanting to brag about the fact that like adult films have been filmed in their house.
Look how much money OnlyFans has now. They could surely fork out a wee bit to go
Yeah,
to
they
space.
could go to space. They could have a space program.
OnlyFans on the side of
They
the
have a
rocket.
TV channel.
They'd
you
make
can
it look like a
subscribe to.
dick.
OnlyFans, would they?
Yeah. I guess they're not explicitly a porn service, are they? They're
No,
just
yeah,
like a
they're-
Patreon.
Also,
But,
like, yeah,
everyone
they
knows.
recently tried to like back away
Stop.
from the adult
Yeah.
film thing. It was really stupid
Yeah.
because that's what they're good for.
That's all they're good for.
That's like most of their business is adult stuff.
They're doing comedy roasts now.
It's like Patreon. Patreon recently like tried to disinvest itself from the adult scene. Well, recently 5 years ago, but it's like stupid. It's equally stupid.
Are they the roast with like the sex workers on OnlyFans?
I don't know, it's on OnlyFans TV. It's hosted by Whitney Cummings.
Whitney
Fuck is
Cummings.
Whitney Cummings.
She's an
Too
American
famous
comedian.
for that.
Is she a porn star?
No, she's this American comedian. She's a bit not funny, but like.
But her name is Cummings.
Yeah, that's pretty unfunny. I don't know. She was a writer for a while, I think, and then she is now a comedian. But most people are now. But yeah, on OnlyFans TV, which you have to subscribe to.
Where are you going?
In the bathroom.
Can you get me a beer on your way back?
What kind of beer do you want?
The only beer. Well, the cans.
Okay,
Please.
I can.
Thank you. Right, so this film that we should probably talk about. Eddie King, as I was saying, starts looking after the two kids whose uncle, parental guardian, has died. And then we cut to 15 years later, but should be like 30. The older brother he went to prison, he was in the military but failed, and now he's back in the hometown and he's selling weapons that a crooked cop is giving him, played by John Cusack.
Whose role in this film is pointless. He just wears different bandanas.
He wears a do-rag and a baseball cap and aviators and pelts.
He's just a cool friend that shows up.
Yeah. He gives the older brother weapons and flashbangs to sell at local gun shops for cheap. And the younger brother has a successful construction company, which is doing well for him and his family. He has a very nice family who all get along, and the older brother is divorced and has an older daughter who hates both him and his
It's a bit of a bitch in the first half, and then she just like one day she's like, oh.
Yeah, there's a switch when the older brother gets kidnapped by Eddie, Nicolas Cage. The ex-wife suddenly goes from... I mean, they're both pretty horrible to each other, so they're both pretty unlikable, but she suddenly becomes slightly empathetic, very suddenly, because she's concerned about her daughter, who is dating a meth head, who I think is the only black character in the film.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Just happens to be the meth head. Who doesn't even look like a meth head.
No, he looks pretty clean actually, but then as we were arguing, that was not one of the scenes he has a pipe in his hand.
Yeah, he has a pipe, but it's a weed pipe. I swear it's a weed pipe. That's not a meth pipe or a fucking crack pipe.
So they just went to a shop and they were like, "Can we have a crack pipe, please?" And they were just laughing behind the counter and like, "Yeah, have this one."
I mean, maybe you can smoke crack and meth out of a weed pipe. I'm sure there's not much. But as far as I know, like, you use fucking encased, like, pipes for crack and meth. You don't use
Is it crack
open,
the one you use a spoon for?
because it fucking reeks.
Yeah.
Crack what?
You know, when people have like the spoon and then they put
They
the thing.
heat up.
Yeah. And
No, that's heroin.
Oh, okay.
And then they inject it. You can also smoke heroin, and you usually do that out of tin foil. That's not... I said the can. This is Kieran's beer.
I'm sorry, Kieran.
Kieran, do you want that?
No, we're good. I do.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock!
Oh, what time is it?
Alright, Kieran.
I'll
you're going to
talk
do a
to the phone.
solo podcast.
Okay. Well. Oh, shit.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was on a crack pipe.
The crack pipes in this movie it's not great. The what the fuck is happening? This movie is really shit, and I would not recommend it to anyone. But so the point where is he has a crack thing. We're talking about crack, and I don't really know what to.
It's some kind of drug.
Yeah, but we're talking about how the guy has a crack pipe, but it's not actually a crack pipe. It's a weed pipe.
What are
Kieran's
weed
beer as well.
You said the can.
I'm joking. What are you saying?
I was telling John about crack pipe, not crack pipe.
I don't know, he's probably smoking meth, who cares?
I thought it was crack or meth. He said meth head, and I didn't know enough about the paraphernalia of smoking drugs to tell if it was a weed pipe, a crack pipe, or a coke pipe.
We should probably get to why the man was kidnapped in the first place, which is also still under wrap. We don't actually know.
Is real dumb is why. It's
Well,
because
that dumb.
well, it's pretty dumb. It's just sort of like a way to push the plot along. Like something had to happen.
Again, the one interesting thing the film does is it tries to confuse you as to if the older brother Mikey has betrayed the younger brother or not.
But does it? Because you see him get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Only after the fact.
Do you?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty explanatory. I don't know.
But why was he betraying the
No,
younger
they
brother?
have the conversation about the six figures, and then there's this whole series of scenes about the brother being like, oh no, my brother has been kidnapped and I have to get the money together.
For some reason,
And then
I just
only
assumed
after
he actually was.
that arc has passed, is it made clear that the older brother has in fact refused to go forward with it and has been kidnapped as a result.
Right. Okay, I missed that. Yes, he gets kidnapped as a
Though the
result
film
of not
tries to
playing
make you
nice.
think that he hasn't been, and he's just a piece of shit going along with the kidnapping to get money out of his younger brother.
Yes, who has to liquidate his company and then his
Do a lot of really
dodgy shit.
edgy financial shit.
And his co-worker then puts the money into a house for just to pad out the film a little bit.
No, he doesn't then put it in. He had already embezzled the money into a house.
Yes, because he thought he could make more money. And so then, just to keep things going, we then a bit more happens where people trauma dump onto the older brother.
Yeah, this is my favourite part.
Yeah, a lot of the film is various characters trauma dumping onto each other about why they're terrible people.
Every time before this man in a chair gets the shit kicked out of him, whoever's beating shit out of him, whether it's Nicolas Cage or it's just some fucking guy in a Hawaiian shirt, they always just start before they. I've never beat the shit out of anyone, but I don't really think it's a point where I'm like, I'm just going to tell you my problems now. I'm going to explain everything, my childhood, everything to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
My
I guess
cat ran away when I was 12. Like,
well, that would
Nic
be
Cage is on a lot of cocaine. His character.
yeah,
Yeah,
Possibly.
every introductory scene with him is him snorting a big line.
that's like. A
So
lot
he's
of
going to be unhinged anyway. and
Well, they're
probably
trying to
very
portray him
chatty.
as unhinged. at
Very,
least.
very chatty. So it's understandable why he goes on. Oh, he kills his brother.
Yeah, who's actually Nicolas Cage's brother? Really.
To be fair, his brother did try to kill him
But
Yes.
I don't remember why he was killing his brother.
Because his brother was going to kill him.
because he did too much crime.
But so was this point necessary for the film, or
No.
just to
No.
bring in?
It was. I think it was so you could see his reasoning for why he was a cunt. Because Nic Cage got sent to jail when
for
he
like
was
3 years.
17.
when he was 17 till 20, and we were discussing how it's understandable why he got into organized crime after that because no one would employ him.
There's a modern film, Ant-Man, where the guy he comes out of
Prison.
prison for doing bank
Is he a convict?
Yeah.
Man, he's
The whole introductory, first 20
That
minutes
film
of
was
the film.
bad.
It wasn't
Ant-Man
bad,
was
though.
the film in which I realized at the cinema that all Marvel films follow the same
Oh
format.
god, I wouldn't have watched it in the cinema. Yeah. That would have caused some disillusionment. Watching it where I watch it, I was like, yeah, this is about an ex-con who's having a hard time getting a career.
And
Because
then
he has to
some,
lie
like-
to an ice cream restaurant.
Some famous old actor is like, you'll be Ant-Man now. I don't know who it was. I don't know anything about old cinema.
Harrison Ford's in the next Captain America.
Harrison Ford needs to retire. The fucking right, maybe that's ageist, but have you seen the fucking trailer for the new Indiana Jones?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he
Well,
looks fucking half dead.
I'm
like-
afraid.
I'm
You
gonna
can't
take
throw
money
that
to
man about anymore. He's gonna fucking he broke his hip on the set of Star Wars. He's gonna fucking
Shit,
die.
really?
Yeah,
He didn't do that much in the set of Star Wars.
he tripped over on the Millennium Falcon or some shit, and he had to be reeled off.
Oh, poor
Poor
man.
old rich man.
I really hope.
I mean, yeah, I assume he's rich. Why is he still doing it if he's rich?
He's fucking bored.
Fair enough, yeah. Do drugs. Being old
That's
is
what Carrie Fisher did, and now she's dead. You can't just do
No,
drugs.
the best time to do drugs is when you're in your 60s or 70s.
Was he got no responsibility?
Also, these health effects are going to affect me in 20 years' time. Oh, well.
I'll be dead.
Yeah. You better fucking do all the hallucinogens and cocaine you can. Maybe you'll fucking make peace with yourself, eh?
He does have like a rather fetching earring, so maybe he is into the drug culture.
This is like a late stage fucking life crisis.
But yeah, Harrison. Why did we get onto Harrison Ford?
You tell me.
Ex-convicts, Ant-Man, old. Yeah, right,
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
Why is Harrison Ford an ex-convict?
No, we were talking about old people.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got here.
No, I know exactly how we got here, but it was stupid.
Just like this movie.
Back to Nicolas Cage, who's not
Yeah.
that old. He's in his like 50s.
He has a really dumb
Yeah,
nose.
Probably 50s, early 60s, maybe.
A really
Yeah,
bad wig.
He has.
I would still have a romantic relationship with him.
You would still fuck Nic Cage
I don't know.
with his big fake nose that
Oh,
looks
yeah.
cartoonish.
Yeah. Fucking
Okay.
give me that fucking.
And his
penguin
wig,
nose.
his really obvious wig.
I wouldn't fuck this version of Nicolas Cage, alright?
What version of Nicolas Cage would you fuck?
What Nicolas Cage version is the most fuckable?
Probably
Con Air.
Con Air,
Con
yeah.
Air's pretty fuckable.
He's pretty jacked.
That's no treasure Nicolas Cage did that.
He's kind of middle aged and
Bit of a
annoying.
nerd.
I mean,
Never on
Mandy,
Tuesday.
Mandy Nic Cage, he's pretty grizzled in there.
alright, maybe you'd like him, but he's very clearly insane.
He's very unhinged.
Yeah.
I can fix him. What other Nic Cage is bangable?
Never on Tuesday when he shows up in the sports car. I'd get in that
Well,
sports
that's
car.
basically this Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
He has
Yeah,
a
but with a
fake
better-
nose again.
He's younger,
I
though.
swear it's the same character.
How could it be the same character? It's the wrong side of like the United States.
People can travel.
That's how he went to jail.
Right, I
He's
understand
on the run
in like
from the
that
law.
area it was a very drivable United States where it was common for people to drive 20 hours to cross coast to coast.
Yeah.
Do you not find it really dumb that you'd like to get from one end of the states to the other? It takes like days. Like if we wanted to go to like,
I mean,
The
it's
south of
not
England.
dumb, it's just really politically confusing.
I think it's just dumb. Like, I don't know. It just annoys me.
You should have seen the USSR.
Yeah.
I mean, they're about as big.
Pretty much. But bigger, I think.
About as big.
Anyway. Nicolas Cage dies in this film.
He also dies in the.
Oh yeah, he gets shot in the gut.
And it's our third on-screen Nicolas Cage death. But it's our second recent Nicolas Cage death. I would put my money on he's going to die in next week's film.
You think?
Yeah. And
Alright.
this ties into a thing.
A thing.
Yes.
A thing.
There
What
is
is
a
this
thing. And Quentin Tarantino went into it in his film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, in which actors of a certain age who were once action stars and won the battles in their films all the time, once they reach a certain age, they start to lose the battles in their films and start to play the villains and start to become,
dead.
yes, weaker.
Wait,
in
is
the
this
eyes
an
of the
inherent
audience.
ageism in Hollywood, you mean?
I guess.
Yes.
So.
Based on what you've described. That's interesting.
It's when the
So it's
actors
always
are-
the young guy that wins.
yes.
Well, look at Brendan Fraser. He used to be like a big action guy, and now he's playing a fat man.
I mean, he was pretty good in the Mummy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And Tarzan.
To be fair though, he had like a huge pause in his career.
Oh no, he was in. He's actually done quite a lot. Just no one really knows. He's in that Doom Patrol, but the character he play, he just does the voice for a character. He was
Didn't know.
in No Sudden Move, which is a very good film.
Didn't know.
He was going to be in Batgirl.
Yeah, now cancelled. That's also just not coming back. Supposedly it was
That's
terrible.
not his fault though. That's
No.
Batgirl being a
Supposedly it was fucking
cancelled
terrible.
film.
Yeah.
DC property.
yeah. That's DC being bad.
As much as I don't like Marvel, being a DC property almost seems worse.
It's kind of hard to tell. They're both quite bad.
Yes.
At least Marvel gets to like. At least it's the comics being also bad.
I mean, recently the only Marvel or DC thing I've actually enjoyed is Peacemaker.
Peacemaker was good.
Yeah.
It was better than it had any right to be.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah. I don't want to watch it because I think it'll be bad.
Even
It's fun.
the opening
It's
credit
fun.
dance scene, great.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
You
that's
just
a lot of the like.
There are a lot of anime I could recommend that have all the characters dancing.
Those aren't real people,
No,
John.
This is John Cena and an eagle.
There are people behind
And a
those voices.
Small man in a green
You
head.
think they haven't approached?
Dancing?
They haven't
No.
appropriated a small amount of the character. Yeah,
Nicolas Cage dies
it's sad.
really badly as well. Like
in a weird John Wick action
yeah,
sequence.
and also when the bullet hit him, it was just like a little animation they put over the top of his stomach. It was not like a.
Well, it's not like the actual bullet existed.
no, they could have done like a blood pack or something to make it like. Kapoosh.
I mean, yeah.
That'd be a bit more fun than just like a shitty rendering of like a bullet hole on him.
Actually, I think in slow motion the blood pack would look really terrible.
Yeah.
No,
It would look realistic, but the thing is that at that slow motion, anything realistic would look bad. Because they had like the guy like spurting blood out of his mouth when he got shot between the
this
cheeks.
film was a real big fan of the 300 slow motion to hyper fast like cuts.
But they only
in
did
action
like
sequences.
3 cuts in that kind of slow motion. I assume because
Any
they were
any opportunity. Like the first time was when Nic Cage like baseball bats the fucking pipe through someone's face at the start of the film.
Oh yeah, that was gratuitously too slow.
And then it's like any time the main guy, fucking Psycho
Does
Eyes,
anything action?
yes, he kicks the meth head, and then it's all suddenly slow motion to.
I think it was just weird because it was so like in this film, they did all these slow motion action scenes, but there wasn't a lot of action in the film overall.
No, it's trying to be somewhere between an action film and a character study, and it doesn't get either of those right.
No.
Nicolas Cage's
John-
stunt double looks nothing like
But
this.
yeah, we talk about John Wick, but John Wick didn't exist at the time that. Actually, it did exist.
2017.
God damn it!
Are you okay?
No, I just
Your
it's in my
years are
head.
getting old.
It's in my head that this film was 10 years older than it is because it's filmed like it
Because
is.
it's bad,
Yeah,
and bad movies don't come out anymore.
I mean, they do tend to get cancelled for some reason.
John Cusack, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is just a complete non-character.
I wonder how much he got paid for it. 'Cause I'm assuming
Yeah,
he
he
got paid
plays
back.
like, I guess, a police officer.
A corrupt cop we were
But,
talking about.
Yeah, it's hard to tell how corrupt he is, and also what role he plays in the police
He's
force
just like
of
so
Biloxi, Mississippi.
so fucking unnecessary for the film.
Do you think?
Well,
he
no, the
doesn't
thing
need to
is,
be
though,
there.
he's very necessary.
Why?
Because, okay, remove him from the film, they don't meet the... Like, he's the only reason that this random character who's on the up and up, you know, the main character, the construction guy, is JP, is even able to interact with any of this criminal underworld.
Why? He would have met Eddie King if he was
Yeah,
like.
he knew
raised by
Eddie
them.
King,
He would have
but,
been
like,
able to meet them.
all the...
John Cusack introduces him to an undercover cop who knows about the criminal underworld, but in the end, the undercover cop gives him nothing and tells him to fuck off.
Yeah.
So he's completely useless. John Cusack also giving the older brother the weaponry, which is the plot point.
Yeah, that
but-
was stupid.
But the older brother was in the military. He would have had contacts. He would have been. You could have played it like that. John Cusack didn't need to be in this film.
You know what, you're right, I agree with you. Now that I think about it, there's a lot of, like, all the things that he was strictly necessary for, he wasn't that necessary.
He just had
Existed.
he just had a do-rag on and a weird haircut and
And
weird
mascara,
sunglasses.
don't forget.
Everyone had mascara.
Yeah, most of the main characters had, like, some kind of interesting eye makeup that would be great in a film that wasn't this.
Yeah, maybe it was just a fashion choice for the era.
Yeah, which
The
would be
Deep
great in a
South
film that
is
wasn't this.
incredibly queer, and we love it.
The other point in this film is the ending of the film is hit not like the Fast and Furious, but before that when he goes to like rescue his brother. Could he not have done that like before he did it? Could he not have done that without trying to go around everyone and like?
Yeah, the main
Stop
character
it.
in this has no, like, action movie experience. He's not,
No.
like, military.
But
He's
then as
not...
soon as he gets a shotgun in his hand, he starts doing fucking Max Payne,
Yeah,
like
it's like-
slow motion, like jumps to the side.
Yeah, and, like, cocking
Shooting
the
men.
gun constantly.
He loves to cock his gun. I think he get, and he does a wee smile after he does it all the time.
I mean, that's what surprises me about the fact this film was 2017, because that's such a trope from, like, early late 90s films, early 2000 films of just excessive cocking of guns.
And they make fun of it in Hot Fuzz, don't they?
Yeah.
When they're approaching the supermarket, Nick Frost pumps his shotgun
Yeah,
like 50
rechambers the shotgun
times.
constantly. Like more than
I
the
hope that
shell.
was deliberate. It seems like it was deliberate.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's hard to tell if something
Is
it is parody or is just what was happening at the time, given 10 years.
Yeah. Right, we got anything else to say on this?
This movie ends like Fast and the Furious, and they have a barbecue, and
They do.
family.
And all the women have completely different personalities at the end of
And
it.
no one is affected by the trauma of murdering people or getting
they
killed.
just-
Yeah, that's really fucking weird. It was like they were trying to aim for another sequel.
We need to watch the first one. I guess we will at some point.
Yeah, but I don't think it will have any characters in common.
No, just Nicolas Cage's one character that he plays and he dies in the first one, but they just bring him back for the second one because Nicolas Cage. I wonder if they approached him with the idea of this being a sequel.
If they turn this into some sort of weird, like, Lovecraftian Nick Cage is like some eldritch being who can't die and just keeps on being
Nah,
reborn.
it's not like
What the hell?
that
That'd
would
be
require
great.
the first two films to be written well. To be good. They'd have to be good for that to happen.
He's like the guy in Dishonored 2 the gang leader who
Yeah.
turns into rats and you have to kill him 3 times in one day to actually kill him. Oh, that'd be good. Right, we done?
Yeah.
Anything else to say?
We have been for Prats Productions. You can
Without
find us
Daniel.
on YouTube. If you search for Prats, you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on where all good podcasts are, and also on Twitch.
Except Apple Podcasts. We're still not on Apple Podcast.
We used to be on Apple.
No, I don't think we've ever been on Apple. Even with the podcast, we never did.
Well, I mean, if you care so much about listening to us on Apple, your problem was with Apple, not us, because
Yeah.
we've tried.
Yeah.
If people keep listening, we'll do some merch.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Our film next
Yeah, we'll do
week-
fucking like for Prats Production cock rings, I think.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah. Our film next week is the film Inconceivable. Does anyone want to guess when this film came out?
2019.
Alright, I've been thinking like 2007 for all of Nicolas Cage's films, so I'm gonna say 2012.
2017.
Fuck!
The same
Same.
year
Oh,
that
it's
this
gonna be
film
beautiful.
came out.
Shit.
We really, like, the wheel did us dirty this time.
Yeah, like, we didn't roll these randomly, but here we are again. Bad films. Fucking
Right.
Kill Chain, fucking...
I don't mind Kill Chain.
Kill Chain was bad.
Kill Chain was bad, but it was
I
entertaining.
prefer the Kill
You
Chain
also
to this.
forgot the lesbian subplot.
Of this film?
No, of Kill Chain.
There was a lesbian. Oh,
Yeah, I was right and you were wrong.
what?
There were lesbians.
And on that note, good night.
Nicky got me rolling, got me shaking, got me aching, got me twitching, got me snitching, got me making a fuss. Nicky got me bowled over, got me over his shoulder, got me slapping, got me whacking, got me smacking my lips. Oh, Nicolas Cage, oh, Nicolas Cage, he's an international treasure of ours, yeah. Oh, Nicolas Cage.
At least 4 Prats.